Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Crash Course Studio. Welcome to the show. More Bloomburrow Spoilers. My goodness. Yeah, we got some really heavy hitters. We've been waiting for this to happen, and yeah, it seems like, here we go. Here's a potential S-tier commander, because this thing is, well, you gotta see it to believe it. That and another card that you gotta see to believe, and some really cool cards as well. Let's jump into them. So, first up, Burrow Guard Mentor, a star rabbit soldier with trample for 2 mana in Selesnya, power and toughness each equal number of creatures you control. I mean, that's quite nice. The fact that it says trample is quite nice. It's low to the ground early and can grow throughout the game. When it comes to types of decks that might want it, go wide strategies. This is a card that is low to the ground. A go wide strategy can utilize it. It depends on if you need some heavy hitters to that go wide strategy, or maybe a soldier deck, or I guess a rabbit deck as well, potentially. Continuing on, Dawn's Truce. Here we go. Instant speed for 1 and a white. Gift a card, and if that was it, it would make no sense. Regardless, you can give someone else a card, and you get both functions of this card. First though, you and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. Already very good. On top of that, though, if the gift was promised, permanents you control also gain indestructible until end of turn. Okay, so we have another basically heroic intervention, but potentially even better. Now, heroic intervention is in green, was an amazing card. I mean, is an amazing card. Just back in the day, Aether Revolt, I think is what it came out, and it's been like the standard for, hey, I protect all my things for just 2 mana, and like nothing else has really gotten to that. And now we're like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's like also a white effect kind of too. So here you go. But also like you get hexproof as well, which usually isn't as relevant, but it can be relevant. So this is I stop whatever targeting you're doing to any of my things, as well as protect them from a board wipe for, yeah, just 2 mana. 2 mana and giving the card away for protecting from the board wipe, the indestructible. But still, my goodness, is this going to be a chase card? Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this one other than it's crazy good. The, I guess, downside of these, like, giving gifts, right, is that, yes, you are giving someone else card advantage, sure, but to save your entire board, yeah, that's worth it. Or even just to save your commander, that is worth it. So, an incredible card that is flexible, doesn't have to give a gift. And also, with that gift giving, you can also make a deal with someone. Be like, hey, buddy, I know that this hurts, right? This player over there, they cast the board wipe. What am I going to do? I gotta cast this spell. If I give you a gift, all right, you know, what are you going to do for me? What if I let you draw a card? Does it make you feel better? You draw a card. They don't. Don't worry about them. You draw a card, make you feel better. Help me out, okay? Okay, I know I've got a full board, but you help me. Okay, we're good. We're good. So yeah, you can kind of make deals with that kind of stuff too. So keep that in mind. A really good card. This is going to be so expensive. Next up, Downwind Ambusher. Downwind! And oh, the shame! Anyone Lion King? No? Okay. Love the name for this, though. A skunk that is the Downwind Ambusher. That's hilarious. A 4/2 Skunk Assassin, because that's a thing. Flash for 4 mana in black. Enters, choose 1. Target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn, or target creature an opponent controls that result damage this turn. These kind of like dealt damage this turn type creatures, they're basically all limited cards for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there's like some offshoot cards that sure like are a specific deck that's like, yeah, I deal damage. This is probably a limited card for the most part, okay? It's very cool though. Next up, Star Charter, a 3/1 flying bat cleric for 4 mana in white. Beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Maybe play a creature card with power 3 or less from among them, and put it in your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. This can give you a good amount of card advantage. I mean, it's the top 4 cards of your library. I mean, if you got enough creatures in the deck that are low to the ground, you're gonna hit something most of the time, right? Like, if you've got a focus deck that's got like, okay, like I'm all about low to the ground creatures, you know, power 3 or less for the most part, cool. And I've got 30 plus creatures, your chances are decently likely to hit one out of the top 4. So if you've got like a life gain, life loss type strategy, again, it's gained or lost on your end step. That can give you a good amount of, yeah, value throughout the game. Also a 3/1 flyer, that's not nothing to come through. It is a cleric, keep that in mind. Bat tribal, I guess, is becoming a thing too, so keep that in mind too. But yeah, cleric's definitely a thing too. So especially clerics with like life gain, that usually comes hand in hand. So yeah, that's a good amount of value for you throughout the game. Definitely not for every deck out there. Obviously, if you don't plan on like gaining or losing life on your turn, and you're like, oh, nothing happened. Or you've got like big creatures, oh, nothing happened. Yeah, but if you've got things that work with this, obviously it works really well. There you go. Next up, Stargaze. Really cool art. Sorcery for X, black, black. Look at twice X cards to the top of your library. Put X cards from among them in your hand, and then you rest into your graveyard. You lose X life. Okay, that's quite good. So we have seen in the past, basically, you know, draw X cards, you lose X life. This is kind of like, in a way, like fact or fiction-y, but I mean, I guess your opponents are choosing from that. This is more like scry-ish, but actually goes to your graveyard. So more like surveil. There we go. We got there. It's kind of like surveil a ton and also draw cards in a way. So yeah, being able to just dump a ton of mana into this, and again, like let's say X equals, I don't know, 4, okay? You look at the top 8 and you get the best 4, you lose 4 life. Yeah, that's really good. And obviously, the more and more mana you have, the better it gets. So yeah, big mana decks can absolutely love this. I mean, just mono black decks might want this too, just for a good, you know, solid, just draw a ton of cards and get the best cards out of your deck that you need. And also, again, keep in mind, like, graveyard decks will love this too, because if you have maybe like a randomator deck, you're like, okay, cool, yeah, I look at the top, whatever, 8 cards, cool. These 4 go to my hand, and these 4 giant creatures go to my graveyard so I can reanimate them. Yes! Yeah, if you've got a graveyard-centric deck, this can really help you out too. So yeah, it's a really cool, really good, well-designed card. Well done! Next up, the Infamous Cruelclaw. We are here. We have arrived. The card that, oh my goodness, probably going to be an S-tier commander. This thing is OP when built in the right kind of deck. Or just if you get lucky, I guess. Or you don't even need to get lucky. You can literally just build this plus one other card and yeah. Okay, let's talk about that. 3/3 Weasel Mercenary with Menace for 3 mana in Rakdos. Low to the ground, 3/3 Weasel. What could it do? Here we go. When the Infamous Cruelclaw deals combat damage to a player, exile cards to the top of your library to exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by discarding a card, discarding a card rather than paying its mana cost. Keep in mind a couple of things. This is kind of like, gosh, what is it? What's the dinosaur? Like Atali. Whatever the new Atali one was, whatever ETBs, exiles to hit something, then you cast that. It's that because you don't get to put those cards on the bottom of your library, all right? It's just like those cards are gone. So, yeah, you could build one card dot deck, which would, you know, work sometimes, right? Where you're just like, okay, I get this out turn 3. Awesome. Or like turn 2 if you have like some lands that can tap for more than one. There are a couple out there like, come and play tap with storage counters on them. Tap you, okay. You could like turn 2 this, turn 3 hit someone, and all of a sudden have, I'll just say it, I'm going to bring it up later, but Blightsteel Colossus come out on turn 3. You probably can just win from there. If your opponents don't have removal for it, they probably don't have enough defenses out there to really stop you. So you're just like, okay, swing, 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 you lose. Yay! So you could go in that direction, obviously, or you just could have Blightsteel in your deck and just like miscellaneously hit it early. Just bumping things, sorry. Being able to just cast giant spells, essentially, for free. Now, there is a slight downside, right? A tiny, teeny, tiny downside that you can basically mitigate in a lot of ways. Discard a card instead of paying its mana cost. What? Discard one card. Just one card? Discard. Okay. Say goodbye to that one card. Yeah, that's quite easy. Like, okay, land? Blightsteel. Okay, I cast Blightsteel for land. Cool. Oh my goodness. But obviously, there is another way that this can just be really absurd too. Like, you know, Narset's a commander. Well, there's a couple Narset things. But anyways, Narset's a commander. Hey, let's cast a bunch of extra combat spells off the top of our library. Yay. Now, this one's only hitting for 3, right? With Menace and get through, I mean, a decent amount of time early on in the game. You're going to need other ways to give it evasion, but there's plenty of ways to do that, obviously. There's also this little thing in red called Double Strike. Yeah, so you can hit twice, cast 2 things. Oh, look, I hit a copy spell. Oh, look, I hit extra combat spell. Yay, swing again. Oh, look, I hit this. Oh, look, I hit that. Yay, swing again. You can do some absolutely bonkers, crazy things with this commander when set up properly. Of course, there's also ways to tutor things to the top of your deck as well. So, yeah, you can set yourself up for success. If you want to see how you can set yourself up for success and decimate your table, stay tuned for these cards I'm going to be talking about right now. So let's go through the cards that can make this commander absolutely disgusting. Starting over the budget buys, cards that are underneath $1 in my budget and might be within yours as well. Bork Battlehorns. Barely in the budget. This one seems to go up and down depending on is there a Menace commander out there that just got printed? Cool. All right, yeah, this works very well with Menace. It's an equipment for 2, costs 1 to equip it. It says equipped creature has trample and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So both things cannot be true. Essentially, again with Menace, it can't be blocked by 2 or more. So essentially, it cannot be blocked. You just get this out and play, you throw on your commander, and your weasel mercenary commander is like, ha ha ha, I shall come hit you with my, what's the sword called? Let me know in the comments below. What is that, the pointy sword? I don't know. Anyways, okay, so go through and hit that and then cast something big for free. Yay! Next up, Fire Shrieker. Plenty of ways. You are in red. We'll go through a little bit in here in a little bit. Yeah. You got ways to give double strike, right? This is a solid one for any color combination, though. Fire Shrieker, equip creature is double strike, equip 2. Get this in play, attach to the commander. Now, all of a sudden, instead of getting 1 free thing off the top of your library, you're getting 2 free things off the top of your library. Or much, much more if you've got extra combats going on, too, so keep that in mind. Next up, Blood Mist, perhaps a better one to have in play, actually. Or Rage Reflection, too. Beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. This one, you don't have to, re-equip if your commander gets dealt with, essentially. It's just okay, my commander. My commander. My commander. That is what you're going to be selecting, essentially. If you have extra combats, though, you can select other things, too. Giving your commander double strike, though, is basically double up your value, double up your fun. But yeah, Rage Reflection's one that gives all your team double strike, so if you've got other creatures in play, that can obviously help, too. And obviously, make sure your commander hit twice as hard. You could, go for, a Voltron win if you really wanted to with this commander, because it's okay, cool, I pump my commander with, Black Blader Forged or whatever. All right, I swing, I have double strike, cool, I just hit for 11, whatever it is. Okay, I got an extra combat at the top. All right, you're gone. All right, you're gone. Plenty of ways to win with this one. Twin Inferno helps out in multiple ways, potentially, or one depending on the circumstance. Choose one. When you cast your next in-source spell this turn, copy that spell target to the copy. So if you've got, a extra combat spell, you get 2 instead. So what's better than 1 extra combat? 2, and then 3, 4, 5. Lots of them. Anyways, target creature control gains double strike until end of turn, so it can be a good okay, 2 mana. Let's get another free thing off the top of the library. Let's spin that wheel. Speaking of wheels, a good way to replace your hand with this kind of a deck because you're going to be discarding things, but again, not really that big of a deal. Increasing Vengeance. Copy target in-sorcery spell you control. You cast from your graveyard by flashing it back. Copy it twice instead. So yeah, lots of additional value. Again, you just basically, okay, I hit something else on my library. It's an extra combat spell. All right, I'll flash this back out of my graveyard. All of a sudden, I'm attacking 3 more times. Good luck surviving me hitting giant things off the top. Repeated Reverberation. Basically the exact same thing in that scenario. When you cast an instant, cast sorcery, or activate a loyalty ability, don't worry about that one. Copy that spell ability twice, choose new targets for the copy. You're going to be getting those extra combats. Or just big, obnoxiously large spells for free. So have fun with that. Double Vision, a great card to have in play. When you cast your first instant sorcery spell each turn, copy that spell, targets the copy. Basically a worse Swarm Intelligence. I mean, it costs, less than that but to get into play, but it's in red, so yeah, it's good. Anyways, being able to copy your first spell, again, say it's an extra combat spell, congratulations! Swing again. And then, again. Have fun. Arcane Bombardment, swing all the time. Oh my goodness, this is a great thing to hit off the top. Enchant for 6 mana. When you cast your first in-source spell each turn, exile an in-source source card at random from your graveyard. Then copy each card, exile with this. You may cast any number of the copies without paying the mana cost. Okay. The more times, essentially, you are hitting with your commander and casting spells, the more things you're getting in your graveyard, the more of those spells that you're actually, exiling with this, the more extra combat spells this has exiled, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I hit, oh yeah, I cast a spell. Okay, cool, copy this, copy that, copy that, copy that. And yeah, you've got an absurd amount of extra combats that you probably just can't lose from at that point. Overpowering Attack. This actually is a brand new card from the Assassin's Creed, yeah, sorcery for 5 mana, free running. Don't worry about that. I guess it does matter slightly. You may cast a spell for its free running cost if you dealt combat damage to a player this turn with an assassin or commander, so it could come into play with your commander technically. So there you go. Keep that in mind. Not the assassin, most likely. Untap all creature control that attack this turn if it's your main phase, official combat phase, follow official main phase. I know rules lawyers out there that it's completely necessary to write all that out, but can't you just be do the extra combat thing? it takes less reading. Okay, anyways, next up, Port Razor. There's also some creatures that can help you out in budget as well. 4/4 Orc Pirate deals combat to a player, untap each creature control. After this combat phase, can't attack a player that's already attacked this turn. Yeah, if it keeps getting through, you're going to keep getting more and more extra combats. Keep in mind with this one, it's not like you hit off the top of your library like, yay, extra combat. I mean, no, you need like to actually be able to attack with this. That being said, of course, you've got ways to get this through. You got ways to give this double strike as well. And you've got ways to, well, get it through on other players too when you get your extra combat. So basically, lots of extra combats to be had. Scourge of the Throne, yet another creature that can help you out. 5/5 Dragon Flying and Dethrone. Attacks for the first time each turn. If it's attacking the player with the most life or tied for the most life, you get an extra combat. Congratulations on that. Next up, Promise of Power. I already talked about wheels earlier. Like, yeah, just cast a wheel. Okay. Everyone discards their hand. I was low on cards anyway because I was discarding cards for my commander's ability, or effect, I should say. And then being able to replace your hand and be like, I'm back to 7. Promise of Power, that was very good too. Hey, draw 5, lose 5. Also something about a demon. Don't worry about that. No one ever does that. I mean, sometimes people do that, but most of the time it's 5 mana, draw 5, which is amazing. Or just off the top of your library, like, you know what? I could use some extra cards. I'll discard 1 card, lose 5 life, draw 5. Yay, good for me. Next up though, keep in mind again, you are casting the card, so you do get cast triggers. Unless they're cast triggers that specifically say, like, from your hand. Like, Apex of Power isn't a cast trigger, but, like, it has requirements for that. First one that came to mind. Anyways, Desolation Twin. When you cast it, which you will off the top of your library, it's basically, like, weird discard cascade, but for no value. Any value, essentially. Anyways, put a 10/10 Coastal Eldrazi token onto the battlefield. So, yeah, you get 20 power across 2 bodies for basically free just by hitting with your commander and discarding 1 card. Yeah, there's a lot of ways, even on a budget, to just decimate your opponents in absolutely no time. Bag of Holding. Talked about earlier how, like, discarding maybe doesn't even matter all that much. I mean, it does. You do have to plan for it, right? But there's plenty of great ways to draw cards, including wheels. Or you can, like, plan ahead with, like, this. Whenever you discard a card, exile from your graveyard. You can also pay for and tap and sacrifice this to bring back all the cards exiled with this back to your hand. And you could also loot with this as well. But more importantly, again, you're like, oh, okay, cool. I just discarded my 10th card to that ability. Wow, I'm doing crazy things, aren't I? And your opponents are like, wow, this is a really long turn with all those extra turns or extra combats. You're like, yes, it is. Oh, I need more cards. Let's, sacrifice this. Cool, I got all my cards back. Yay! Now that I think about it, there's like that one spell, Shadows of the Past or whatever it is. There's one in black as well, instant speed for 2 mana that you could use too. Anyways, Containment Construct, another great card. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile a card from your graveyard. If you do, you may play that card this turn. Again, it is play, so that counts lands as well, not just spells. But yeah, oh no, I discarded a card to play something for free. Cool, all right. Put it right into play. Yay, thanks for that land. Or yeah, cast the card still anyways, so you're just not losing out on value. Next up, the pricier picks, cards that are above $1, and one that will literally never be underneath $1, except for maybe when I'm like 85 years old and like this is like a terrible card in Magic because the power creep is just so crazy at that point. Blightsteel Colossus. $32.55, 11/11, Golem, Trample, Infect, 12 mana, Indestructible. Put a grave from anywhere, reveal it, and shuffle it in Summer's Library instead. Here's the thing. Yeah, if you just, again, you can build your entire deck around this if you really want to, and like be like, okay, I got 1 card in the deck. And I guess there's like some lands that can be like man lands and that kind of stuff too. But yeah, I got 1 card in the deck. It's Blightsteel Colossus. I swing my commander, I hit you, and I cast Blightsteel. And that's my plan. Does it work? Does it work? It might work. It literally might work again. Like, players' defenses might not be that good that early. And again, like I talked about earlier, there are certain lands that, like, can help you tap for multiple mana to start the game off. So, yeah, you could get this out quite early and just swing and win. Now, most decks aren't going to be built in that way, but I can guarantee you some decks are going to run Blightsteel because if you just happen to get lucky and hit off the top of your library, not even planning for it, or there's some ways to plan for it we're talking about here in a bit, you might just win because it's a card that is an I win card. This is if I hit you, you are gone. And by the way, I've got cards in my deck most likely that can make it unblockable essentially. So it's coming through to hit you. You lose! Yay! Oh, also I've got extra combat spells so I can swing again with Blightsteel or other cards too. But yes, when you are at a higher budget, thanks a lot, Ishin, for just destroying the prices of every single extra combat spell. And by destroying them, I mean making them go up, 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 up. Thanks, Ishin. Meanie. Relentless Assault, basically extra combat. Again, I'm not going to read the whole card because extra combat. Round 2, which is actually Seize the Day. This is the cheapest version, I guess. Seize the Day is untapping 1 creature, giving that creature basically, not giving that creature, but you get to untap 1 creature and you get an extra combat, okay? You can also flash this back too, so yeah, all the extra combats. Next up, Savage Beating. You can't untwine this off the top of your library, but still, you can actually just cast this, and when you do, you can entwine it, and then you can give all your creatures double strike and get extra combat as well. That being said, if you just hit this off the top of your library, yeah, you can just essentially get the extra combat, which is lovely. World at War. Hey, you get extra combat. You also get to rebound this to cast again for free the next turn. So you get, guess what? An extra combat. Morog for Evacuum. Fury of Akum, if I could talk. Goodness gracious. A 6/6 Minotaur Warrior that says each creature you control gets +1/+0 for each time to attack this turn. That is very relevant with this commander because, again, if you're going to be taking players out potentially with combat damage, you're just like, oh, okay, yeah. My commander swings for more. 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 Your opponents are going to get taken out quite quickly, especially, again, if you have double strike that basically doubles up that damage. That being said, the important part here is, hey, land enters the battlefield, extra combat. With this one, be careful when you do it. You do need to do it at a specific time to actually get the extra combat, so keep that in mind, okay? Next up, Reverberate. Copy target instant sorcery spell, choose targets for the copy. Yeah, when you unlock a higher threshold of, cards as well, but it comes to price your picks, you also get, apparently, Reverberate. One of the very few copy spells in red that is above $1 these days. Just barely above $1 now. Anyways, Whisper Soul Cloak, an amazing card. A creature cannot be blocked in a shroud. With this one, you probably want to make sure you have, a way to just blanket give your creatures double strike, or, you already have a thing that has double strike on your commander, like Fire Shrieker. Because, yeah, hitting twice is very nice. It does give Shroud, so Shroud means that you can't target it. Your opponents can't target it, which is lovely that they can't target it, but keep in mind with your not being able to target it. Also, though, it can't be blocked. So, yeah, Menace is nice and can usually get you through in, certain situations, or if you have, Vorarch Battlehorns, get through. Flying usually get you through with that on top of Menace. This one, though, is just no. You literally just can't block it. So I'm coming through, I'm hitting you. Probably have double strike, hitting twice, getting twice the value. Lovely giant things off the top of my library can be cast, or just all the extra combat spells. Berserker's Onslaught, again, like I mentioned, just a blanket way to give double strike. Wizards, reprint this! Reprint it! Please. I don't think you reprinted it. Maybe you have, but yeah. Reprint it. Used to be budget friendly, now it's not. Enchantment for 5 mana in red. Attacking creatures control double strike. Attacking is typically when you want the double strike. Blocking double strike is also, yes, very nice. Not trying to downplay that, but yeah, when you got a commander that's like, hey, if I hit you, I get something. You give it double strike, you're like, hey, I hit you. I hit you again. I got 2 things. Yes! So yeah, double strike's great. I also really haven't mentioned with double strike with this and Rage Reflection that just gives it to your entire team. Yeah, when you got giant creatures out there like Blightsteel Colossus, that's still quite nice because they're like, okay, I block. Oh no, it's not, doesn't matter. Oh no. Kozilek, the Great Distortion, also a giant creature. 12/12 for 10 mana, but again, basically free with this deck when you hit off the top. I mean, discard a card. But discarding a card, it's still basically free because when you cast a spell, if you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, you draw cards, equal the difference. So again, losing those cards does not matter. And again, you are casting it still. So there you go. Replenish your hand. Menace, also nice. Discard a card with mana value X, counter target spell with mana value X. Counter a lot of things. Moving on, Oolong the Infinite Gyre, a 10/10 again. Cast trigger. Again, sometimes you're just cheating things into play. You don't get the cast trigger because you're not casting them. This one you are, so cool. You get to destroy target permanent. Good for you. Also, by the way, indestructible and Annihilator 4. Goodbye to your permanents. Speaking of goodbye, oh, so mean. Emrakul, the World Anew. 12/12 Eldrazi for 12 mana. When you cast a spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Hey, you weren't planning on doing anything with your army, were ya? No, okay. I mean, keep in mind, this can set yourself up to get through another player, because if you have an extra combat going on, you're like, hey, I already got through on that player. Oh, I got Emrakul up the top. All right, I cast this, gain control of your creatures. Now you can't block, and I get extra combat, so swinging your way, you're gone. Yeah. Also, flying protection from spells and permanents that are cast this turn, and on top of that, if it leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. And by the way, Madness pays 6 colors. I'm not counting on you being able to actually pay that 6 colors because that is a lot of colorless mana. That being said, there's potential that if you discarded this as the cost of, casting another spell essentially with your commander, you could just Madness this out. Obviously, Madness cards could work really well with this commander too. Next up, Emrakul, the Promised End, an incredibly mean card. I mean, Emrakuls are always mean, essentially. 13/13 Eldrazi with flying, trample, protection from instants, 13 mana in total. I can't believe I said flying and trample instead of flample. My bad, everyone. Cost 1 less cast for each card type among cards in your graveyard. Again, with discarding cards that could actually help you cast this, if you're not just cheating into play. But you're probably going to be cheating into play off the top. Anyways, when you cast it, again, not from your hand, you gain control of target opponent during that player's next turn. After that turn, the player takes next turn. gaining control of someone's turn can be just game ending for them. You're like, I decimate your board with your things. I just swung at the wrong players. I did all these crazy loopy things. Oh, you're gone. Yay. They get an extra turn to replace that, but they're just going to be picking up the pieces after that. Oh, Cave Vampiric Tutor. So this is a card that, again, is incredibly expensive. And typically when tutors, like, don't get cards in your hand, I mean, Vampiric's amazing. It's an instant for a single black mana. Search your library for a card, shuffle, and put that card on top. You lose 2 life. Typically, like, Demonic Tutor is better because it's like, it goes right in my hand. It's 1 mana more. This one's like, oh, okay, with this commander, yeah, I'd rather set myself up to cast something for free, actually. So you go right there on top, Lightsteel Colossus, and all of a sudden, I cast it for free. Yay! So yeah, tutors like this can be absolutely incredible. But now this episode is coming to a close. It's time for me to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are on this crazy new commander. I mean, yeah. It's got some potential. It can do some crazy things very quickly. Again, the fact that it's so low to the ground and can basically cheat out crazy spells super early. And also that you could just be like, extra combat, extra combat, extra combat, copy spell, extra combat, extra combat, extra combat, copy spell. Wheel! Yay, my hand's back. You can do some absolutely bonkers things and take over the game quite quickly. Yeah, this one is definitely already in my mind competing at the S tier level. We will see, though. You never know. We could have like a Nadu in this, set that basically is just like, well, that's S tier. Okay, where's everything else then? Yeah, we shall see. Regardless, let me know your thoughts are on this one. Check out that card list link in the description below. If you haven't checked out my Kickstarter yet, make sure you check out that in the description below as well. And then also, I think in the comments too, I'll usually try to post that as well. But yeah, it's already made. The Kickstarter isn't started yet officially, but you can follow it. It is my brand new card game. Just I'm making myself, I had some friends help out with testing and help with other things and some design decisions, and I absolutely love this. I really want to share it with you. So 7 Secret Super Villains. Hope you're as excited about as I am. So yeah, check it out. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. And stay tuned to the channel for more exciting quick takes and spoilers. There we go. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.